Day 4 of the 2025 Coachella Valley Invitational rolls on. East meets West as two playoff teams lock up in Indio. New York Red Bulls take on Real Salt Lake. Along with our broadcast team, I'm Jake Griffith. Welcome inside the Empire Polo Grounds. New York Red Bulls, the reigning Eastern Conference champions, led by Sandro Schwarz, their head coach, now in his second season, looking to pick up where NYRB left off on a successful 2024 campaign that saw Red Bulls advance all the way to the MLS Cup final, falling to LA Galaxy. On the other side of things, Real Salt Lake, under the direction of Pablo Mastroeni, their fifth-year head coach, remaking this roster. Gone is Chicho Arango, amongst others. Kevin Lambert out on loan. Matt Crooks also departs, but they do bring in a handful of players, including Kobe Henry on loan. Sam Junka comes in from Dallas on the transfer, and most notably in goal, they acquire Rafael Cabral, the 35-year-old Brazilian. And RSL fans will get their first look at Cabral in net today. It is a 4-2-3-1 for Mastroeni up front. The acquisition from Nashville SC, Forrester Ayago. Emil Forsberg touches up, and we are underway between RSL and New York Red Bulls, going with a 3-4-3 under the direction of their head coach, Sandro Schwarz. Emil Forsberg in the middle, and the new acquisition of Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting, who signed a contract with NYRB in December. They're in the middle of the front three for Sandro Schwarz. It is an RSL throw-in. Real Salt Lake in the gold with the blue shorts. Red Bulls in the red tops and the black shorts. And this is steered back to Cabral. You talk to people around this RSL club, and they really feel like they upgraded in goal this season with the acquisition of Cabral. 32 appearances in his career for Napoli, made 95 career appearances for Cruzeiro, 3 international caps for the Brazilian national team in 2012. This is not Rafael Cabral's first time facing off against New York Red Bulls. In fact, back in 2010, back when he was with Santos, he played one half of a friendly against NYRB, allowed 0 goals. Ojeda in the middle tries to work this to the outside as it bounces around and finally comes to rest in possession of Yangar. 39 appearances, 7 goals for Dennis Yangar, the Norwegian, in the first tier of Norway's professional pyramid. Our center referee, Alvin Olivia, blowing the whistle today. Steered back to Cabral. Catronis on this near side. They work it up ahead to Iago. And back down it goes to AJ Marucci, who is getting the start in goal for this New York Red Bulls side. Vera with it now, switching between he and Justin Glad. The homegrown product is Justin Glad, 28 appearances last season for RSL. Tied up in the midfield and work back on. Real Salt Lake feeling their way through things here in the infancy of this match. A 1-1 draw with St. Louis City SC on the 5th of February, followed by a 3-0 win out of Coachella Valley play against Las Vegas Lights last week on the 8th. A quick counterattack for RSL dissipates. Worked up ahead, looking for Choupo-Moting. Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting, the German, signed a contract with the club in December. It runs through 2026. He spent the last 4 years with Bayern Munich, 122 appearances, 35 goals. A huge pickup for Red Bulls not content to just rest on their laurels as the reigning Eastern Conference champions. They're pushing for more. Julian de Guzman, the sporting director for NYRB, really doing what he can to reshape the roster in the offseason. They bring Tim Parker in from New England Revolution on a free transfer. It's his second stint with NYRB. It's been 2 years, 18-20 with New York Red Bulls, former MLS Best 11 selection. Marcelo Morales also comes in as a free agent. Victor Bogic, they bring him in. Alexander Hack as well. Raheem Edwards, significant pickups for New York Red Bulls in the offseason. Petronis has to steer it back to Vera, the Colombian. 2 goals and 2 assists for Vera from that center back spot last year in 25 appearances for Pablo Mastrani's bunch. Switching pass to the outside, they want Marchuk, who signed in August of this past MLS season. They activated a $1.8 million release clause in his contract. Made 10 appearances for RSL there at the tail end of the season. Ojeda wins it back for Real Salt Lake. And stepping up to just knock that away, Dylan Nealis for New York Red Bull. Ojeda still with it though now. It falls to Iago. Two goals and 15 appearances for Nashville SC. RSL able to acquire Iago, selecting him in stage 1 of the re-entry draft. Worked up ahead to Forsberg now. Forsberg flanked by Choupo-Moting. Forsberg gets it back. It falls across. Lewis Morgan has it on the end line now. Gives it up to Yangar. Nealis, probing ball. Choupo-Moting got ahead to it, but not enough to get it on goal. And Rafael Cabral will pick things up to end the danger for RSL. So much of a different look for Real Salt Lake, not just in this contest, but in the upcoming season. As alluded to minutes ago, over 60% of their goals from 2024 do not return. That's significant considering RSL set a club record for goals in the season last year. We do have a whistle from Olven Olivia. Real Salt Lake will have a free kick right in the middle of the park as Alexander Hack, a new acquisition for this New York Red Bull side, is whistled for the infraction. Hack spent the last 8 years with FSV Mainz 05, 145 appearances, 8 goals, 3 assists in that time with Mainz. Actually played for his head coach Sandro Schwartz at Mainz during his time there with the club. Yangar will guide this back to Marucci. Up the near touchline they go to Lewis Morgan. Flanked by Aiden Jarvis. The NYRB 2-player getting the start today. Jarvis, nifty move to get around one defender. Switching pass back to the outside. Red Bulls will cycle this around. It's Jarvis in the middle. Dylan Nealis helped back on to Morgan. Morgan cuts to the byline, and his cross is cut out. Red Bulls will have their first corner of this match. Emil Forsberg, the captain for New York, over it on this near flag. Forsberg lifts it in, header on goal, and Cabral makes his first save. Alexander Hack, the former Mainz 05 man, able to climb the ladder and get a good chance on target. Rafael Cabral up to the task. Iago able to get in behind. Now here's Iago! Iago unlocks the contest. The former Duke Blue Devil, Forrester Iago, sneaks in behind, and RSL finds themselves on top less than 10 minutes in. You see why Pablo Mastroeni is so high on Forrester Iago. The young 23-year-old out of Ghana, a long clearance up ahead, and Iago tracks it down. 1v keeper, a tidy finish for Iago. Did not play in RSL's first Coachella Valley Invitational match. Was working on getting green card issues sorted out, but Iago comes in, starts up front, and makes an immediate impact against Red Bulls. 1-0 at the restart. Catronis looking to funnel it back ahead to Iago. Iago tied up. A battle with Tim Parker, and it is cleared away from the possession of Forrester Iago. Iago, a former college standout at Duke, played for 3 different Division I universities. Prior to Duke, a stop at Dayton. But Iago really turned heads during his time with the Duke Blue Devils, I should say. And now here's RSL wanting more, trying to turn on this. Goncalves. Diogo will get it back. Options all around for Diogo. Good ball work here for RSL. Here's Emeka Anelli, 2 caps during that U.S. men's national team January camp. Played 90 minutes against Costa Rica. Wearing the captain's armband today in this preseason friendly. You speak to people around the RSL franchise, and he is one of those front runners to be the full-time captain during the regular season. Given back to Iago, tried the quick dish off. Had Lachlan Brook flashing through the middle. Instead, his pass cut out, and Catronis and RSL will have a throw in on this near touchline. Here's Anelli again with it. 35 appearances during the MLS regular season. Lewis Morgan comes up with the interception. Morgan signed a new contract last week with New York Red Bulls. It'll run him through 2026 as the MLS Comeback Player of the Year in 2024. And he's a player that will be very important to what NYRB wants to do this upcoming season. Bagged 13 goals, 20 goal contributions in total for Lewis Morgan. The second most goals last season by a midfielder in club history. Anelli comes up with it and will steer this back to Justin Glad, a homegrown product for RSL. It is still no Diego Luna in the 11 or the team overall for RSL at this preseason invitational. He is with the team training. The club put a video out on social media showing him in the mask. Luna still rehabbing from that broken nose he suffered during the United States men's national team camp. There's Ojeda fighting off a challenge. Advantage was played, and now Olden Olivia will bring it back to the spot of the original foul. RSL getting one last preseason tune-up in before they enter CONCACAF Champions Cup play for the first time since 2016. A February 19th matchup with Herediano in Salt Lake City to kick off CONCACAF Champions Cup play. RSL will switch it to the near side. A looping pass back on, looking for Catronis, and it's out of his reach across the end line, and Marucci will have a goal kick for Red Bulls. A 1-0 win last week over San Jose, who just in the match prior to this suffered a 5-1 setback to Chicago Fire. Taken down as Aiden Jarvis, the NYRB 2 player. New York Red Bulls also do have a 1-1 draw with DC United and a 1-0 loss to St. Louis City SC during their time in Bradenton, Florida, pre-Coachella Valley Invitational. Here's Choupo-Moting. Working it around the outside, back in the middle to Forsberg. Emil Forsberg, designated player, signed through 26, does have an option for 27. Piece is picked up here by Morgan and company. It's Yangar now. Yangar's shot deflected away by Brian Vera, and it concedes a corner, the second of this first half, to NYRB. Red Bulls able to quickly pounce on that loose ball after Forsberg had it and had it knocked away from his possession. It will result in a corner for Emil Forsberg and New York Red Bulls. Eighth most corners in MLS during the regular season for Red Bulls last year. Forsberg lifts it in, headed back post and cleared away by Iago. Not a far enough clearance though. Raheem Edwards picks it up, tries to send a second ball back in, and just got a hold of that one. It goes into the seats, and it will be a Rafael Cabral goal kick for Real Salt Lake. Two corners, but still just the one shot on target, the Alexander Hack header that Cabral made the stop on. And Ellie gives it back to Cabral. Trying to funnel it back over to Lachlan Brook. Knocked across the touchline and out. It will be an RSL throw right over in front of the substitution area. RSL coming off that aforementioned 3-0 win over USL side Las Vegas Lights. That out of Coachella Valley play, but Pablo Mastroeni, after that 3-goal outing, said I think we've been struggling to find the back of the net in previous games, but today we were able to do that and take control. There was a lot of good play between the boxes, but he really emphasized the production in both penalty areas. So defending well when we had to and also finishing our chances. That was very important for the group today. It's a step in the right direction. Right now, just one shot for RSL. It's on target, and it's gone back in the back of the net thanks to Forrester Iago. And now here's another opportunity. Lachlan Brook trying to take it on himself. Instead, it will be a whistle. Raheem Edwards able to draw a whistle from Alvin Olivia. Raheem Edwards comes over on a free transfer from CF Montreal, one of the additions for this New York Red Bulls side. Coming off that MLS Cup runners-up season, lowest seeded team ever to qualify for an MLS Cup final. They were the 7th seed. Had a solid first portion of the season, but the final couple months really stymied due to injuries, including Emil Forsberg, who missed time. That set them back in the Eastern Conference table, and then once the playoffs started, went on an incredible run. And now here is the aforementioned Forsberg. Stops on a dime. Has Dylan Nealis in stride. Options for Nealis. To the byline, Yangar, centering ball, cleared off the line by RSL, and the second shot from Morgan deflected. 3 first-half corners now for New York Red Bulls. Just crossed over the 20th minute mark. Good interplay here as Nealis rolls it ahead to Yangar. It falls through. Morgan had the initial shot, got his own rebound. A solid job of defending by Justin Glad stepping in front. Here's Forsberg. Curls it in. Iago got a piece of it. And now Jarvis couldn't hit it off the volley either. Marchuk looking for support. A release pass to clear it away. Pressure kept on by Daniel Edelman, a homegrown product for New York Red Bulls. Here's Jarvis. Edelman pulls that ball in. Nealis thought about going down the near alley. Now they give it back up to Morgan. Edge of the box, give and go. Back to Morgan. They wanted a whistle, won't get it. Clearance intercepted by Hack and worked on to Forsberg. Edelman dancing through defenders. Choupo-Moting tried to give it back up to Edelman. Intercepted again by RSL. Struggling to clear the lines, though, is Real Salt Lake. Forsberg's hit from distance blocked, and it falls back to Dylan Nealis. Lifted in to Choupo-Moting. Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting has been marked exceptionally well by Justin Glad. That's a tough assignment for Glad, the 27-year-old, but he's done an impeccable job so far on Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting. Several times Choupo-Moting has been looking for that give and go, and almost each time Glad has been there to cut the pass out. It does give up a corner. That's 4 corners now for New York Red Bulls. Forsberg lifts it, headed in, it's Hack. Alexander Hack doubles the advantage for New York Red Bulls. It's 2-0 NYRB. 1-1 New York Red Bulls as he pulls level back with RSL. Hack had his first free header back earlier in this half, stopped by Cabral, and now off a set piece, the fourth corner of the match for New York Red Bulls, able to beat Rafael Cabral and put the match on even footing. Worked up ahead. Here's RSL quickly in stride. Laid off, top of the box, looking for Diogo, and a sliding clearance away for New York Red Bulls. Here's Forsberg. Quickly gives it up to Edelman, and now Forsberg will get it back. Here's Forsberg now. Red Bulls looking for more since giving up the Forster Iago goal in the early few minutes of this contest. It's been all New York. Able to take possession back, and they've been able to settle on it. A big reason why 4 first-half corners so far for Red Bulls, one of which they just scored on to equalize thanks to Alexander Hack. But here's a turnover, though. Iago with it for a moment. Out wide they go to Diogo. They'll swing it to the outside. Hidalgo. His pass cut out. There is an RSL player down. Slow to get up. That's Marchuk. Choupo-Moting with the interception, and now here's Edelman looking to roll it ahead to Yangar. Yangar just a step too slow to get to it. Fantastic recovery for the homegrown Bodie Hidalgo. Back it goes to Rafael Cabral, who will roll it out. RSL a bit on their heels at the moment. Cabral will clear this to the near touchline. It's helped on up ahead to Iago. Jarvis now. Need to turn away from pressure, and does. He'll go back to Hack, the goal scorer for New York Red Bulls so far, off the corner. Up ahead, Morgan tries to hit this off the volley and does. Rolls it just wide of this near post. Look at it again, just a crafty ball from Emil Forsberg over the top and in stride, finding Lewis Morgan. Morgan has had 3 shots already in this first half. Brook finds Katranis. Here's Katranis again. Wants the pass to the outside. Left it short, though. And that was enough for New York Red Bulls, I should say, to intercept. Forsberg gets it back. Clever ball from Morgan. He'll roll it back ahead to Lewis Morgan. Here is Forsberg, the former RB Leipzig man. Spent 10 years in the Bundesliga, 323 appearances, a 2-time DFB Pokal winner is Emil Forsberg. Forsberg impeded, and that will be a whistle from Olvin Olivia. A free kick right in the middle of the field for New York Red Bulls, who have a bit of momentum now. Dylan Nealis quickly restarts play. This is Raheem Edwards. Choupo-Moting to Jarvis. Hack wanted Yangar on the near touchline. Got a bit of hold of that one on that pass, and it will be a change of possession via the throw in as Katranis will toss it in. Here's Anelli, feeling pressure. Cabral will come out to clean that up, and it's worked up ahead. Across the touchline it goes. RSL will have a throw. Mentioned earlier the changes made by RSL in the offseason, most notably the departure of Chicho Arango. Kevin Lambert also gone. Matt Crook's gone as well. And that may give fans a little bit of pause as Marucci will come out and head it out of play. The throw quickly in to Iago, and it's cleared away from him. Fans may have some consternation about those moves in terms of how much goal-scoring punch that's going to knock out of this RSL team, but Kurt Schmidt, their sporting director, really high on some of the players they brought in, including Ariaf Peel, Forrester Iago, Elias Manuel. Flag will come up. Red Bulls in an offside position. Schmid saying the three guys we brought in, we feel they are really good game model guys in terms of their work rate, their attributes, where they run, where they play, everything. He went on to say it really fits what we want out of that position up front. So there is hope within the RSL organization that the moves that they've made this offseason with some of the players they've brought in, most notably Iago, Peel, and Manuel, will do a lot to blunt the loss of players like Chicho Arango. Schmidt did let on a bit that he said RSL may not be done making moves in this window. We're working on a few things that could happen this window. As this lifted over the top again in stride, that found Lachlan Brook, but Brook couldn't get a good shot off. Brook, the Australian, 7 appearances for RSL last season, was originally signed to Brentford in 2020. Was ultimately loaned out, never made an appearance for Brentford. Edelman now. Hack has the only goal for Red Bulls so far in this half. It's off a corner. Edwards trying to fight off a challenge and instead will concede possession back to RSL. Throw in, finds Ojeda. Ojeda joining RSL on a loan from Nottingham Forest in 2022. Iago up ahead. Now here's Brook trying to run it down through 3 red shirts. Lachlan Brook on the move, and the shot stopped by Marucci. Four shots now for Real Salt Lake, 2 on target. Starting to wrestle control back of this match as we've crossed over the half-hour mark played. Iago got RSL on the board first in the 9th minute. And about 15 minutes later, Alexander Hack leveled for New York Red Bulls. It's headed back on by Hidalgo and worked over to Dylan Nealis now for Red Bulls. Here's Yangar. Steered back to Cabral. Slipped ahead, Iago. Good connection here with Diogo. Looking for the give and go, finds Iago. Iago tries to play this central, and it's intercepted. A good build-up that time down the pitch for Real Salt Lake. That's a bit more of what Pablo Mastroeni is looking for. Here's Edelman. Morgan will pull that loose ball in. Now Yangar goes back to Dylan Nealis, who will steer it over to Marucci. There is a whistle as Emil Forsberg was tripped up. Forsberg now with it. Morgan wanted Yangar. Good defending from behind by Diogo. Was really hounding Lewis Morgan there and eventually hounded him into that turnover. That ball will skip across the touchline on the far side. RSL will have a throw. Up to 2 shots on target in the first 35 minutes for Real Salt Lake. One from Forster Iago that went in, another that was saved by New York Red Bulls' AJ Marucci, as we have another whistle for a foul. Last season, RSL fourth most shots on target per match in MLS, averaged 5.6. 200 total shots on target during the regular season. Back comes New York now. Edwards on that far touchline was trying to connect with Forsberg. It does roll across, and a change of possession occurs via the throw. Here's Ojeda. Ojeda will get it back. Ojeda beats off the challenge. Now rolls it through, looking for Iago. It's deflected on its way out. It does concede another corner. Katranis will trot over to that far flag for Real Salt Lake. Their first corner of this match. Tied with Red Bulls for 8th most in the league during the regular season last year. They short the corner. Katranis curls one in, headed away by Red Bulls. Hidalgo will pick it up. Gives it back to Vera. Vera's cross sent wide. Vera able to square that, and Lachlan Brook on the doorstep pushes it wide of the near post. Now look at it again. Great ball. Able to find its way through to the penalty spot, and Lachlan Brook can't finish. Quickly up ahead, Forsberg on the move. Gets past one challenge now, and will slow up and wait for support. Does get muscled off the ball by Emeka Anelli, who works it up the far touchline now. Quickly countering is RSL. Looking to roll it through to Iago. Pass was telegraphed though. And Ojeda will just knock it out of play. Red Bulls will have a throw in. Dylan Nealis will have the throw on the near touchline. Momentum has shifted a bit in favor of RSL. They have had more chances, more trips down into the final third these last 5 or so minutes than New York Red Bulls. Hidalgo will intercept that pass. Up ahead, Choupo-Moting tries to sidestep Cabral, and Alvin Olivia will point to the spot. A penalty coming up as Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting taken down. Forsberg able to get it out wide to Raheem Edwards, and they just lost track of Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting. Slipped in behind, and not much else you can do as a defender. A first half penalty awarded to Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting and New York Red Bulls. Been a bit of a theme here on Field 2 today. It was 2 first half penalties awarded to Chicago Fire in our first matchup of the day. As a team, New York 8 for 10 on penalties last year. Choupo-Moting scores. Consecutive goals for Red Bulls. They surge in front 2-1 thanks to Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting. Choupo-Moting just buries this one right down the middle. Cabral tried to guess and guessed wrong. Alexander Hack put them on even footing, and now Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting gives New York Red Bulls a 2-1 lead just before we reach the halftime mark. This Red Bulls attack has been efficient in this first half. 3 of their 4 shots have been shots on target as Marucci comes way off his line to clear it away. Forsberg tried to quickly get it forward, had Lewis Morgan inching toward that final third, and back it goes at the feet of Rafael Cabral. Real Salt Lake had started to settle in on possession these last couple of minutes in the later stages of this first half. This worked out wide. Cross comes in right at Marucci, who makes the grab. It started to feel like RSL had momentum going into the late stages of half one, but Red Bulls have quickly snatched it back thanks to the penalty converted by Choupo-Moting. And here's Lewis Morgan wanting more for New York. Turnover now, countering his RSL. Anelli will lead the charge. Has options, finds Diogo. Diogo squares this. Back to Anelli, who can't corral it in. Mecca Anelli is still down. Forsberg with it. They'll cycle this one around. Here's Choupo-Moting, one of 2 first-half goal scorers for NYRB. Jarvis now. Forsberg gives it up to Edwards. And back they go to Hack again. Entering the roughly last 90 seconds of this first half. Each team with 3 shots on target. Marucci has had to make 2 saves in this first half, the keeper for New York Red Bulls, who have scored now consecutive goals to take a 2-1 lead. There's Choupo-Moting, tries to dance around one defender and does get tripped up. And a free kick quickly taken by New York Red Bulls. Aiden Jarvis with it. Lifted to the near side, here's Morgan. Morgan's cross, back post. Edwards steps up, header deflected away. Yangar now. Looking for support. Dishes it back to Nealis. Yangar gets it back on the near flank. To the byline it goes. Edelman squares. Falls to Nealis. There is a whistle for a stoppage. And a foul occurred behind the play as Lachlan Brook taken to the turf. Have crossed over the 45-minute mark. Brian Vera will have this free kick. Worked back onto Forsberg now. And Forsberg rolled it ahead, one to Choupo-Moting. Another interception for the back 4 of RSL. Turned over again, and counterattacking again is New York Red Bulls. Anelli reads that one well. Anelli pushing the tempo now for Real Salt Lake. It's Diogo. And there is a whistle from Alvin Olivia as Emeka Anelli still down, slow to get up. A free kick awarded to RSL after the foul drawn by Emeka Anelli, the captain. Diogo is over it. It's a very inviting opportunity for RSL. A chance to pull level if Diogo can hit this well. Here's Diogo. Toward goal, near post, and misses wide. That will draw a whistle from Alvin Olivia, and we have reached halftime in Indio. A 2-1 advantage for New York Red Bulls. RSL struck first in the 9th minute, but it's back-to-back goals for Red Bulls to take a 2-1 lead into the break. Halftime report on the other side. Red Bulls lead it 2-1 through 45 minutes of play. Back in Indio, California, almost time for the start of half number 2. It's a 2-1 lead for New York Red Bulls over Real Salt Lake in our third match of day 4 at the 2025 Coachella Valley Invitational. Let's look at some first half highlights for you. It was a bit of a back and forth affair. New York Red Bulls with some early chances on RSL's back line. That first shot knocked aside and cleared off the line by RSL. Real Salt Lake would weather a bit of a storm early on from Red Bulls. A corner comes sailing in. That one does go in off Alexander Hack's head. That would put the match on level footing. Hack had been denied earlier in the first half by Rafael Cabral on a free header, just exactly like that. That made it 1-1 New York Red Bulls. New York would still push for more. They've had some good spells of possession, including this over the top. Lewis Morgan takes the touch. Off the volley, just misses it wide. RSL, through the midway point of the first half, would start to wrestle control a little bit back. Here's an opportunity that Lachlan Brook can't take on the move. and then worked up ahead to Forrester Iago, leaves it back off for Lachlan Brook. Brook races through not one, not two, but three Red Bull defenders and gets a shot off that's stopped by Marucci. Here's Diogo finding Forrester Iago again. He did have the opening goal in the 8th minute for RSL on a breakaway that beat A.J. Marucci. And then more opportunities for Real Salt Lake. Keeping the pressure on. This worked into Vera. Vera centers one at the spot. Lachlan Brook pushes it wide. That was about the point that New York Red Bulls would start to answer things. In comes Eric Maxime Choupo-Moting, tries to sidestep Rafael Cabral. Cabral takes him down, the penalty awarded, and very quickly New York Red Bulls would take the momentum of the match back. Choupo-Moting goes to the left, Cabral guessed right, and that is how the first half came to a close. A 2-1 lead for New York Red Bulls. We'll head back to break. Second half kickoff when we return to the Coachella Valley Invitational. Almost time for the start of half number 2 between Real Salt Lake and New York Red Bulls. No changes at the half for Real Salt Lake, going with their same starting 11 here in their final preseason tune-up ahead of the CONCACAF Champions Cup coming up on the 19th of February. A 2-1 lead for New York Red Bulls. Consecutive goals scored for Sandro Schwartz's side. The whistle sounds from Olven Olivia, and we're back underway for the second 45 minutes. Cleared away by Red Bulls. Mohamed Sofo on the pitch to start half number 2 for New York Red Bulls. Also, Peter Stroud will come in as well. We have a whistle from Olven Olivia that will bring things to a stoppage. Valencia, Hall, and Stroud among the changes made at the half for New York Red Bulls. Sean Nealis will also come in. 28 appearances during the MLS regular season last year for Sean Nealis. The 21-year-old midfielder Wiki Carmona out of Venezuela also on the pitch to start half 2 for New York Red Bulls. New York themselves with one final preseason tune-up after this. They'll take on San Diego, MLS newest franchise, the 30th franchise for Major League Soccer, to close out the Coachella Valley Invitational this weekend, the MLS portion of the Coachella Valley Invitational. And then they will face off against FC Cincinnati on MLS's back week. Here's a turnover. Counter-pressing is Real Salt Lake. Rolled ahead to Iago, and a kick save made by Marucci. A.J. Marucci has been busy. 3 saves in this match. Look at it again. Forrester Iago takes a good feed here in stride from Emeka Anelli. And Iago can't get it past A.J. Marucci. They do short the corner. Just RSL's second corner of the match. It's cleared out by Red Bulls, but deflected out on its way by RSL. Thanks to the Iago shot we just showed you, that's now 5 shots, 4 on target for Real Salt Lake. Still looking for that elusive second goal, however. Pressure collapsing in. Mohamed Sofo trying to force Justin Glad into a turnover. Ultimately, that pressure from New York Red Bulls does pay off. Quick throw, far touchline, finds Carmona. Here's Marucci now. Goes up the near touchline. Valencia corrals that one in. Leaves it off for Peter Stroud, a homegrown product. 3 seasons in the New York Red Bull Academy with NYRB U12s. Now here's Hall. Sofo. Squares. Hall takes the touch and it sends it wide. A good build-up here, led by Mohamed Sofo, the substitute. Cuts to the byline, tries to center that one and does, and it's just touched wide. Julian Hall, the young 17-year-old. And now a whistle from Alvin Olivia. Justin Glad's clearance. Carried up on Aiden Jarvis, caught him in the midsection and just knocked the wind out of Aiden Jarvis. Was a little slow to move, and now Jarvis, after Olivia checks on him, all things good to resume play, and Bodie Hidalgo's throw does exactly that. Cameron Harper with the interception, worked on to Carmona now. Harper. Cameron Harper spent 1 season with Celtic in the Scottish Premier League, just 1 appearance, turned down a scholarship offer from UCLA to go overseas and play professionally. Red Bulls will switch it to this near side. Here's Valencia again. Sofo pressured into a turnover by Emeka Anelli. Now there is a whistle and a free kick awarded to Real Salt Lake. Up ahead looking for Iago. Again, another telegraphed pass. That time Noah Isla with the interception. Trying to work it out wide to Cameron Harper. Deflected on its way out by Diogo, and it's another throw for New York Red Bulls. It finds Aiden Jarvis. Jarvis wanted to lift that one to Valencia on the near side. Didn't get enough of it, and Bodie Hidalgo will steer that back to Rafael Cabral. 1 save in the first half, 1 goal allowed off the penalty for Rafael Cabral. Diogo can't maintain possession for RSL. Defender goes to ground, unsuccessful challenge, but now won back by Real Salt Lake. Hoofed ahead, a foot race between Marchuk and the touchline, and it's just out of reach of Dominic Marchuk. As mentioned, just 1 preseason friendly left that separates New York Red Bulls from their season opener during MLS's back week against FC Cincinnati. FCC grabbing all the headlines in MLS this week. First, they transfer Lucho Acosta, their number 10, to FC Dallas, and they promptly bring in Evander from Portland. FC Cincinnati is most definitely going to have a say in not just the Eastern Conference title race, as that does go across the touchline. There will be a throw-in for New York. FC Cincinnati will most definitely not just have a say in the Eastern Conference crown race, but also the Supporters' Shield race. You have to remember they also brought in Kevin Denke this offseason as well, did FC Cincinnati. Sofo trying to connect with Julian Hall. Sofo gets around Justin Glad. Sofo again trying to turn on it. And he finally does cough it up. Here is Diogo and RSL. Emeka Anelli goes down, voices his displeasure with the no call. Worked out wide, looking for Sofo. Anelli was incensed that Olvin Olivia did not sound the whistle. Here's Lachlan Brook. Katronis tries to turn, is taken down, and will draw a whistle from Olvin Olivia, quickly taken as the free kick. A whistle from Olvin Olivia, Anelli pleading his case. And now this conversation between Olivia and Anelli will continue. Emeka Anelli still upset with the no call earlier in this second half. Anelli won't get the resolution to that he was seeking. A very animated conversation between center referee and Emeka Anelli. This one lifted ahead looking for Sofo, and quickly Cabral rolls it back out. Stroud gives it up to Harper. 3 international caps for the U.S. U20 national team in 2020 for Cameron Harper. 27 appearances during the MLS regular season for Cameron Harper. Marucci back ahead. Here's Hall. Now we have a whistle. Dominic Marchuk was taken down, and RSL has been awarded a free kick. Hidalgo, no options going forward, will steer this back to Cabral. Up ahead, looking for Diogo. Lifted ahead, and the offside flag will come up. Katronis just got a little ahead of himself there on the outside. RSL starting to settle into more of a possession-based game here in this second half. It was a bit of a back-and-forth affair in the first 45 minutes as these teams traded momentum, shots back and forth, and ultimately the lead back and forth as well. That one rolls toward the end line, and very quickly New York Red Bulls will have a corner. Vera beat out Julian Hall on the aerial duel, but couldn't keep it in the end line. And after what seemed like New York with not really much momentum in the opening stages of this second 45, they do have another corner. This will be their 5th of the match. Valencia curls it in, headed away. And now quickly, off that clearance header, it's Diogo pushing it out in front. Sofo trying to race him down. Diogo stopped. Marucci, another diving save. Worked back in, second save made by Marucci. What a flurry of stops made by A.J. Marucci. Up to 5 stops on the day for A.J. Marucci, the 25-year-old. Here's Hall now to Valencia out wide, flanking him. Cross to the back post. Harper leaves it off for Carmona. Still Carmona. Finally cleared away by RSL. A collision behind the play. A free kick awarded off the foul. There is an RSL player slow to get up, pointed out by Olden Olivia. How about the play of A.J. Marucci? 5 stops made, back-to-back saves just minutes ago on good opportunities from Real Salt Lake. New York Red Bulls young keeper, the 67th overall pick in the 21 MLS Super Draft, was a 3-year starter at Connecticut College at the Division III level. Only allowed 27 goals and holds that program's record for clean sheets with 25. Went on to be a first-team All-American at the collegiate level. Does have 20 matches of experience at the MLS Next Pro level from 2 seasons ago. Played just 1 match at Next Pro last season for NYRB 2. Quickly up ahead, Iago. A host of yellow shirts in the vicinity looking to get it back to Iago, and it's cleared out for another RSL corner. Second of the second half for Real Salt Lake. Up to 4 now for the match. New York and Alexander Hack scored off a corner from this very same far flag toward the tail end of half number 1. RSL hoping to have the same fate. They short the corner, cut back to the end line, and that disjointed from the start of it. A goal kick given to A.J. Marucci. Marucci is coming off a 2024 that saw him sent on loan to IF Nistan. Made 14 appearances, 5 shutouts in net. Headed back on by Stroud now. RSL will have a throw. We've played over an hour. RSL still trailing 2-1. But they have the momentum here in this second half. Building again is Real Salt Lake. That cross deflected out by Lewis Morgan, and it concedes a throw to RSL. Four corners, 8 shots, 5 shots on target for Real Salt Lake. And here's another whistle from Olden Olivia on a strong challenge. A yellow is shown. The New York Red Bulls 2-player Jair Colahuazo will go into the book. One of the changes made at the start of the second half as he took Dominic Marchuk down. Marchuk was slow to get up, but is back to his feet. And Real Salt Lake will have a free kick a few steps inside this near touchline. Hidalgo and Ojeda playing a little bit of back and forth there. Now they'll cycle it around to the outside. Vera gives it up and will get it back. Hidalgo steers this over to Cabral. Headed back on by Lachlan Brook. Red Bulls will intercept and give it back up to Mariucci. Stroud back to Mariucci. Had Iago in the vicinity, had to quickly dish it off. This up ahead, seeking Julian Hall. Hall able to pull it down in traffic. Hall squares this! Another added to the total for New York Red Bulls. Against the grain, Mohamed Sofo buries it. It's 3 unanswered goals for New York. This is an impressive individual effort from the teenager Julian Hall. Steps around the defender, pulls it down in traffic, and the centering pass right to Mohamed Sofo, who does the rest, beating Rafael Cabral. After the Forrester Iago strike in the 9th minute, New York Red Bulls have ripped off 3 consecutive. That one coming not just against the grain, but against the whole feel of this second half. RSL had been in control, maintaining the possession time and again. They've had more chances in this second 45 than New York Red Bulls have had, including that flurry earlier of 2 shots on target, both stopped by A.J. Marucci. But from nothing comes something for New York Red Bulls. And now they've padded their lead. This Red Bulls side created the 4th most big chances among MLS teams a season ago, registered the 15th most touches inside the opponent 18. Noah Isla turning away from pressure. 10 international caps for the Swedish U21 team last year. Colahuazo sidesteps a would-be challenge. Hard collision as Brian Ojeda goes down in a heap. Jair Colahuazo, a New York Red Bulls 2 player, not afraid to get in there, mix it up with these first-team starters for RSL. Now a yellow card has been pulled out of the pocket of Alvin Olivia. And Emeka Anelli turns as if to say, is that against me? Anelli and Olivia have been having extended conversations all second half. You'll remember earlier on in this second half, Emeka Anelli voiced significant displeasure with what he felt like was a no call. That led to an animated conversation between the two. And now Catronis trying to defend Anelli. Meanwhile, Diogo crosses it in, bouncing around, and Marucci will let it come to rest at his feet. lifted up ahead. Sofo has one goal in this second half just minutes ago. That one, a long pass out of the reach of Sofo. The long pass has seen some significant success for New York Red Bulls today, although not on that trip down to the final third, but 7th most long passes completed in MLS last year. We do have another whistle, Alvin Olivia will bring things to a stoppage. Valencia will give it back to Colahuazo. Ahead to Valencia it goes. Now Jarvis had it for a moment, ended up giving it back up to RSL and Justin Glad. Worked back to Marucci. These youngsters of New York Red Bull, a lot of academy, homegrown, and MLS Next Pro type players out on the pitch to start half number 2. Jarvis and Colahuazo among them, also Julian Hall, one of the homegrown products, just 17 years old. They have been very calm, cool, and collected under what has been somewhat of a possession onslaught, an opportunity onslaught in the second half from Real Salt Lake. Giving up to Jarvis now. Now Jarvis finally muscled down to the ground. That will be a foul and a free kick given to New York Red Bulls. Here's Marucci, has to move with it. Up ahead to Hall. Locked in a battle, and Julian Hall will draw a free kick. Second half has at times been disjointed, constant whistles on both sides of the matter. This funneled back up ahead to Hall. And again, Hall is taken down. And now some extracurriculars after the whistle. Brian Vera took exception to something. And he and Julian Hall, a couple pushes and shoves. Play does resume though. Stroud to Carmona. Back to Stroud now. Has a hit from distance and misses wide. Peter Stroud, the homegrown product. Former West Ham Academy product. And a beautiful hit here. Just misses wide of the near post. A quick give and go, setting New York up with an opportunity. Another shot for Red Bulls, now up to 6. Stroud moved over to England at 16 years old to play in the West Ham Academy. Ultimately came back home, played at Duke collegiately. Back-to-back midfielder of the year in the ACC, the best Division I men's soccer conference there is. Was a Mack Hermann Trophy runner-up in his final college season was Peter Stroud. Now here's RSL. Another Duke Blue Devil, and Forrester Iago has it and fires that pass into the feet of Omar Valencia. Rolled back to Cabral now, and here is Justin Glad. Bit of miscommunication there between Cabral and Brian Vera, and those two exchanging some words now. Cabral was sure he had Brian Vera on the outside, and instead, Cabral's goal clearance. There's a turnover and a throw in for New York Red Bulls. They have it now. Looking for the cross from Cameron Harper. It's blocked away. Here's Colahuazo. Gives it up to Hall. Hall centering pass. Cabral has to leap out for it. Took a deflection off the boots of Bodie Hidalgo. And now here's RSL trying to turn this into something offensively. Cross left short, enough for Sean Nealis to head it away. And here is Mohamed Sofo, the most recent goal scorer for New York Red Bulls in this second half. He's the only goal scorer in the second half for New York. Looking to play it through to Hall on the overlapping run. Over on field number 1, San Diego FC and Portland Timbers are across the half-hour mark. Portland with a 1-0 lead over San Diego FC. Here in this contest, entering the final 15 minutes. For RSL, it's the final 15 minutes of their preseason before the matches of consequence pick up. This one rolled ahead, looking for Iago, just out of the reach of Forster Iago, and Marucci will roll it out. CONCACAF Champions Cup coming up for RSL on the 19th of February. First time in that tournament since the 2016 season. This one left off top of the box, and RSL pulls one back. Diogo able to pounce on a loose ball and bury it. After 3 straight goals conceded, Real Salt Lake back on the score sheet. Diogo makes it 3-2. A look at it again. Pressure collapsing in on New York Red Bulls. Colahuazo tried to just do too much, coughed it up, and Diogo does the rest. Life now late for RSL. It's been a second half that's largely been controlled in terms of tempo and possession and opportunities by RSL. The Mohamed Sofo goal earlier for New York Red Bulls coming against the grain. There is a Red Bull player slow to get up. That looks to be Aiden Jarvis, and it is. Carmona will get it out wide to Isla. Now, though, RSL's patience and persistence has paid off as Diogo Gonçalves able to get RSL back on the score sheet for the first time since the 9th minute. Now more mixing it up between these sides. Catronis having some words over on that far touchline with a New York player, and his teammates trying to pull him out of that scrum. That will bring a whistle from Olvin Olivia. Timbers have flared a bit in this second half. We've seen Emeka Anelli and Olvin Olivia have words. Julian Hall having some words with Brian Ojeda just a few minutes ago, and now Alexandros Catronis, the native of Greece, has to be pulled out of a scrum by his teammates. Play will get back underway off the drop ball, and we are back underway. Cabral will hack that away for a clearance. And Valencia will let it roll out. The aforementioned San Diego FC in action right now against Portland is who New York Red Bulls will face to finish up their time here in the Coachella Valley Invitational. That will be this weekend on Saturday. Jarvis looks to switch it to the outside. Cameron Harper underneath it now. Harper leaves it off for Carmona, whose shot is blocked. Falls back to Jarvis, though. Touched inside. Here's Hall. Isla. Still Isla now. Valencia. Peter Stroud. Again, Red Bulls swing it back to the outside. Harper looks for the cross. Falling through, cleared away. Colhuazo was charging forward from that center back spot to try to pounce on what was a loose ball. And a smart clearance from Justin Glad just to boot it out of play. Isla goes down. A free kick given to New York Red Bulls as we're across the 80th minute now. Here's Carmona. New York trying to snuff out any momentum that RSL might hope to have after the Diogo goal. Trimmed the deficit to 1. RSL does have a free kick, and they quickly take it now. Here comes Real Salt Lake. Looking out wide, trying to find Dominic Marchuk, and they do pull back level. Forster Iago, after striking in the first half early, puts this match back on even footing. A brace completed for Forster Iago. This one worked to the outside. Valencia made contact with it, was hoping Colhuazo would clear it away. Instead, Iago, right place, right time. And Forster Iago has pulled RSL level. Two second half goals for Real Salt Lake. Here's Valencia now. Trying to knife past RSL defenders and cannot. Hall taken down. Strong collision off the aerial duel between he and Justin Glad, and now New York Red Bulls will make a change. Sean Nealis will come off for New York. Marucci will carry it out and clear it forward. It was Yangar who subbed back on for New York Red Bulls in place of Sean Nealis. Now here's Colhuazo. Up ahead to Valencia. Into a tone for the mistake is Valencia. Here's Yangar. That pass squared and cut out. Fell back to Yangar. Worked on to Hall. Carmona will give it up to Stroud. Colahuazo. Colahuazo has it taken away again, and now an opportunity for RSL. Marchuk leading the charge. Marchuk on the move, his shot blocked. Noah Isla steps over and blocks that away. Colahuazo got caught trying to do too much again. That allowed Marchuk and RSL to take it away. Marchuk's cross. Clearance fell to Yangar. And now Catronis able to roll that to the byline. It was not kept in by Iago. A delayed whistle. Shroud gives it up to Jarvis. Again, turned over by New York Red Bulls. Promptly won back, though, by Stroud and company. Harper looking to lift this ahead. Instead, that finds the gloves of Rafael Cabral, who plucks it right off the end line. Roughly 5 minutes left in this contest. It's been a back-and-forth affair between these two teams. Another whistle here from Olvin Olivia. This time it will be a New York Red Bull free kick. If you're just joining us, Forster Iago scored in the 9th minute. Then it was 2 straight from New York Red Bulls in the first half. They tacked on a 3rd consecutive in the second half. But since then, RSL, who has largely dominated the possession in this second half, has now put 2 goals consecutive in to pull back even. Real Salt Lake will have a goal kick. Here's Ojeda now. Hidalgo looking for support. High press of New York Red Bull collapsing in on RSL. Anelli taken down. And Emeka Anelli not only slow to get up, but does earn a free kick for Real Salt Lake. Emeka Anelli, 35 appearances during the MLS regular season last year, 2 goals and an assist. So good on the defensive side of things in the midfield, averaged 1.6 interceptions per 90 minutes. Only Justin Glad did better last year, 1.7. This flung forward by RSL, hoping to find Forster Iago, and instead that finds the boundary line, and it will be a New York throw-in. St. Louis City SC has arrived here at field number 2. Starting to warm up on the training pitch behind field number 2 as we have a whistle and a yellow card issued to RSL. It's St. Louis City SC and NYC FC coming up at 3 Pacific time here on field 2 to close out day 4 of the 2025 Coachella Valley Invitational. '88th minute now. Still all even at 3. RSL, though, they've scored back-to-back goals. Trying for some late match heroics now. Worked up ahead to Sofo. Sofo does have a goal in the second half for RSL. Carmona gives it up to Stroud. Work back to Harper now. Harper's cross. Header over the bar and wide by Hall. A late opportunity for New York Red Bulls. A good ball played in by Harper. Julian Hall, the young teenager, able to head it high and wide. Couldn't place that on goal. Hall last season became the youngest player in club history to score a goal in an MLS regular season match for Red Bulls. RSL trying to quickly take that free kick on the restart. Then Olivia will whistle it dead and we'll reset things here. 40 seconds until the 90th minute. And Ellie gives it up. Glad. Hidalgo guides this back to Rafael Cabral. Tries the stretch pass up ahead, takes a bounce past Harper. He does steer it successfully back to Marucci, though. Hall, glancing pass forward, finds Yangar. Yangar over to Sofo. Still Sofo, shot is blocked by Hidalgo. Very easily saving the result for RSL. Sofo was all alone. It's still Red Bulls, though. Carmona tried to head it down, and instead it catches the hand. Handball whistled for, and perhaps one last gasp here for RSL. Here's Anelli. Anelli up ahead, finding Iago, but the flag comes up. Forster Iago in an offside position. There's the whistle from Olvin Olivia. A hard-fought 3-3 draw in the books. RSL able to snatch a result from what at one point looked like certain defeat, trailing 3-1 in the second half. But back-to-back goals sees RSL pull level late. 3-3 our final between New York Red Bulls and Real Salt Lake. For our broadcast team, I'm Jake Griffith saying so long from Indio, California. Our final match of Day 4 to Coachella Valley Invitational coming up here on field number 2 between St. Louis City SC and NYCFC. But for this one, 3-3 the final between Red Bulls and Real Salt Lake.